One of the reasons why people aren't able to capture the wins is because they don't understand the process. The process of going from nothing to something, from nothing to extraordinary, from ordinary to extraordinary. There's a process that you have to go through. And there's a word I want to introduce that you have to learn how to cradle and to develop, and that's called momentum, and how to build momentum. So let's just use the example, a couple examples. One example is that you are outside in the wilderness and you've been asked to build a fire, right? And there's a big, huge oak log like this big. And you're like, and you got a little match and you're trying to start this oak log on fire and it's not working. Why? Because you haven't built the momentum to actually burn the oak. Yeah, and so you have to start really tiny. And you have to be really protective of this little couple leaves, right? And you got to just gather these leaves, right? These little leaves. There's this huge piece of oak. And you got these little leaves. And believe it or not, you have to create the foundation with these little leaves to build momentum. And so you take these little leaves, you put it together, you get some flint or a match and the leaves, and this is where we miss it. Because we're so impatient. We're like, no, man, no, this is what I want. And I want to be like this YouTube star and this person. And I want to be at this level. And it starts here with the little leaves and a little match. And then you have to be protected from the wind, from the naysayers, from the critics. And you have to guard it, right? You got to guard it at this stage right here. You have to really guard it. And then when it gets a little bigger, you add a little more. And a little more, and then you gotta wait, you gotta guard it again, and you gotta speak life over it, and you gotta blow it a little bit, right? You gotta blow encouragement over it, and just build it, and then all of a sudden, it gets this big, then you let other people know, and it gets this big, and then you take that big log, and you pow, and you've developed the momentum. It's like when I'm on an airplane, and I love flying like 747s, right? And so, when this huge 747 is about to take off, they rev up all four of these engines and it starts to move extremely slow. But when it gets moving down the track, when it gets moving down the runway about a quarter of a mile, it's unstoppable. Build your momentum. My mentor would always say, celebrate the sprouts, the small moments. Take great rejoice. Fertilize it with encouragement. Fertilize it with words of affirmation. Fertilize it. You're not experiencing the growth because there's no encouragement and there's no momentum. And without momentum, you don't have motion. And without the perpetual motion, you won't have a movement. Start here and build your momentum and be faithful over the little, and the log will burn.